Yeah, we should have had Michelle as our guest today because she was just in here. I could feel it. She was getting ready to go off on the Diamondbacks, who she used to work for.
I know, it's so crazy.
That should have been, football season's like a month away. We've got a schedule for the next month about like doing the previews. And so now we're like through the dark times where there's not a whole lot to talk about. We should have had Michelle come in and talk about working for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
She's the only person in this building, as far as I know, that has worked for a major league professional sports team, and she has never been on here to talk about that.
Yeah,
that's our fault.
Holy air ball, dude.
Yeah, whoops. Well,
Yeah.
next year. If we remember.
If we remember. Yeah.
Hopefully we do.
Yeah.
All right. Lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about mostly football. We're going to get some baseball in. It's going to be good.
We're going to get some basketball in.
We're going to get some basketball in?
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's go. Welcome to the house, episode 46. If you need homeless or at-risk youth services, you can take it to my house, 300 North Willow Street in downtown Wasilla. Isaac Smolden, Brian Fields. We are just wheeling and shouldn't use that. We are a homeless youth drop-in center, so we are not wheeling and dealing, but we're getting a lot of stuff done here at my house. We're hiring peer support staff right now. We're adding on. We don't even have positions open. We're just making new positions because we're ready to bring some more folks in, right? Or they were always open. We're hiring. That's the point. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just work in communications for this organization.
That's why you're the podcast guy.
I don't know what I'm talking about. And what else? What else is going on at my house really quick? We have episode 2 of The Liberating Effect coming out with Rabbi Mendy. We got a lot of positive feedback on that first episode. Check that out this week. And we have a My Voice episode coming out with, speaking of, one of our peer support staff that also was a client here.
I just got so mad
About our fantastic peer support staff that's recording a My Voice episode this week, or
no, about Sunday Ticket.
Oh man. How much more is it going to be this year?
It's less.
They're
doing a promo for new
Oh.
users.
Oh, but you're not a new user.
At $34.50 a month. But I'm about to move, so I could change my email.
Maybe we shouldn't record this. You're about to out yourself.
I know.
Sunday Ticket. Yeah, I just have. You know what? Shout out, no free shout outs. You don't know who I have.
You don't know.
I have a way to watch football.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a basketball thing. What's the basketball thing?
Basketball thing is Luka Doncic.
Try again.
We're done.
Luka
Magic agreed to a extension of 3 years, $168 million, which is not as much as he could have got, but it was very clear that they were trying to give him a 3-year deal. It's really a 2-year deal with a player option. And so then once he opts out of it in that second year, they can offer him like 4 years, $418 million. He lost a substantial amount of money being traded.
Yeah.
So I think this was like a good faith way for the Lakers to be like, yeah, we can give you everything that you want, like as much as you can get right now, or we can kick this down the road, give you a fair compensation, and then give you what you deserve in a couple of years. So really excited about that. I think the only one that's not excited about it is LeBron baby James. I just don't understand that guy, dude. He goes to his agent. He opts into this 40-year-old man who's, like, granted, he's still playing top 10 in the NBA. Goes in, opts into a $52 million contract, and then says,
That's not a lot of money though, Brian.
What?
I need more money than $52 million.
You're LeBron James.
I'm LeBron James.
You're LeBron James.
I'm LeBron James. I have so much money, I could light the next $52 million on fire and be okay.
Here's the kicker, though, is then you create a bunch of toxicity by going to your agent and being like, we want to compete for a championship, or blah, 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 and like do this whole thing.
Then play for free if you want to compete for a championship.
You don't even have to play for free. Play for $32 million a year.
No.
Like, you don't have to be anything crazy, but because the spotlight is not, he was willing to do it last year, and he made look like a fool because he came out and said, I'll take less money so we can recruit people.
Did he take less money?
He didn't take less money because nobody wanted to sign. And he was like, oh, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. But you are. Nobody wants to play with you. You're 40 years old. You try to take the spotlight all the time. You get people traded. You get coaches fired.
And let me tell you, Brian.
I appreciate everything that LeBron has done for the Lakers. And he came to us in a transition time when he didn't have to. And our team sucked and brought us back to relevance. But
let me tell you what a leader should do.
This exit strategy is driving me crazy.
And this is what drives me crazy about basketball. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in hockey, but holy cow. Do we not see this all the time? Because let me tell you about a guy called John Tavares who grew up in Toronto watching the Toronto Maple Leafs, signed a very large contract with Toronto. And unfortunately, because of some other decisions that they made, the Maple Leafs have not made it past the second round. They said, we need to change everything. John Tavares is becoming a free agent. Mitch Marner, another superstar that's making $11 million. He's becoming, and by the way, $11 million in hockey is a lot of money. So yeah, let's cry about $52 million. But anyway,
yeah,
the Leafs say we need to change this. We got just too few players making too much money, taking up too much of our salary cap.
Right.
And John Tavares said, you know what? I'm 36. I'm still a 35 goal scorer. That's worth probably right now $6 to $7 million out there on the open market. Maybe more, depending on how many years I signed for. But I am from Toronto. I grew up watching the Maple Leafs. I want there to be a championship in Toronto, and he signed for $4.35 million for 4 years, taking a huge discount right before he could have gone into free agency because he cares about his team. He's an assistant captain on that team, and he wants them to win.
This is so annoying.
I'm not saying it always happens, but I'm just saying I prefer that style of leadership a lot more than whatever LeBron's got going on.
You're a hockey guy. So, like, this is your, like, avenue to be like, hockey's too much better than basketball.
I'm not saying hockey's so much better than basketball. I'm saying that as someone that grew up and we could have a whole conversation about all the problems that hockey culture has, but I do think that you see this type of maneuver way more from the NHL, average NHL player than you do that a superstar, average NHL superstar, because that's what John Tavares is. When he signed that deal, he was the biggest free agency signing of all time, possibly.
If you say in all of sports, I'm going to come across this too.
I'm not going to say in all of sports, but basketball players and football wide receivers drive me crazy.
Football wide receivers are insane. They're insane.
We got to move on because we have a fat main topic. We're starting our football previews, but really quickly,
football is back, baby.
For the first time in my life, ESPN has given the Seattle Mariners the A+ winners of the trade deadline grade. For the first time, I don't know if ever, but the first time that I've been watching the Seattle Mariners, 26 years, because they go out, not only, like we talked about last week, did they get Josh Naylor, they get the biggest bat at the trade deadline in Gino Suarez. He's coming home, back to Seattle. Such a team guy. They said they waited for him in Sacramento after they played the Athletics so that he could join the team plane. He hugged every single player on his way down the plane. The vibes are immaculate. Good vibes only. The Mariners win the trade deadline. They beat the Texas Rangers 3 out of 4 games. They're only 2.5 games back of the Astros on Monday when we're recording this. And guess what, Brian? Call me Michael Scott because I am ready to be hurt again. My biggest complaint with this team is that management handcuffs them every single year. They don't spend money. They don't get the pieces that they need. They don't shoot their shot when they should. Not only did they get the 2 biggest bats at the trade deadline and get a smaller bullpen piece, which they also needed, but they spent some money. Cal Raleigh, when he signed this long-term deal, sat down with management, and it took a while for him to sign it because he, afterwards it comes out, their main talking points are about, this team has the chance to be a contender. Are you going to let us contend? I'm not signing here unless you guys agree to spend some money on this core. And ownership, management, Jerry DiPoto, who I've yelled and screamed about in the past, had maybe the best Mariners trade deadline of all in my living memory, which is great. Good vibes only. There's this tiny part of me in the back of my mind that realizes that if the Mariners don't make the playoffs, and let me tell you, the bar is so low, just make the playoffs this year. You don't have to go win a World Series against the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Blue Jays or the Phillies, the Tigers, any of these teams that are actually contenders. Just please make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, maybe this team just sucks, Brian.
Maybe they do. I think they do.
But we won't know.
At least you're not the Dodgers and you're like,
oh, stop crying about the Dodgers. It could be so much worse.
We suck when we want to.
Okay. And not only did the Mariners make these trades, they
Shohei
barely gave up. They barely gave up anything.
Being injured because he throws. He walks like two people and he looks like a ding dong out there. And then they're like, "Oh, he just had cramps in his hip."
Dodgers are going to be fine. The Mariners have a chance. They have a chance to do something very, very cool. It was an excellent weekend of baseball. They get a day off today. They play the White Sox tomorrow. It's time to start reeling in the Astros and make sure you're keeping pace in the wild card. Gentlemen, Julio Rodriguez, first MLB player in history to have 4 straight 2020 seasons to start his career, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases in each of his first 4 seasons. Has never been done before.
Yeah.
Hit a bomb the other night.
Bomb.
All right, Brian.
All right. Let's do it.
Football season. It's a month away. We're almost back.
I'm getting invites for fantasy football.
We're making
this
fantasy football league, dude. The amount of trades. You can only keep 3 players in our league, and the amount of trades and conversation. Like, I don't know what guys are doing. Guys are just lighting draft picks on fire.
Yeah,
for players that they either don't need.
Hello.
Brian's traded 2026 picks already.
About draft picks,
and I'm so excited for fantasy football.
Can't win your league in the draft.
You know,
Can't win your league in the draft.
It's like, it feels like it's December 1st and Christmas is almost here. And what's under the tree?
Yeah.
The anticipation is part of the fun.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy these moments. So last year, it was one of the first things we ever did. We went through and we did AFC, NFC North, then the East, then the South, then the West. We actually started with the West because we wanted to talk about the Seahawks and the Raiders. We're going to start with the North and do the West last because we're going to want to talk about the West the most and save West Coast, Best Coast. Save the best for last.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with the North. And would you like to start with the AFC or the NFC North this year?
Let's go with the AFC.
AFC
the more superior
North. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
The AFC North is a interesting division. I think last year we said, what'd we say, maybe 2 to 3 folks could come out of this division. If there's 3 teams that come out of this division this year, something catastrophic has happened in the league.
Yeah.
I think that
how do you get there? How do you get there?
Okay, well, let's talk about it. I think let's start with the team that won it last year that would, I think, be a lot of folks pick to win it this year, the Baltimore Ravens. They had a
mid off season.
They had a standard year last year where they make the playoffs and once again they can't get past the Bills. One, do you think they win this division, and is this year any different than what we've seen the last couple of years?
I think this year is different just because I think one team, and I know I was high on them last year too, but
we'll get to the Bengals in a second.
I think the team to watch is the Bengals though. Like, I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase both having off seasons, both having training camp. I think it's going to make a difference this year. I mean, they're not, and they weren't out of the playoffs by much. They're 9-8.
We're talking about the Ravens.
I know. But I'm just saying.
The Ravens have lost their kicker, which we don't need to get into.
No.
But other than that, what was the biggest off-season story for them? I mean, they are
you never
very quiet.
You never.
Off-season.
Well, that's how you know you have a great team because you're focused not on spending a bunch of money in free agency. You're focused on drafting well, and you're focused on retaining your players. They retained Derrick Henry. They add some vet presence with DeAndre Hopkins, which is needed for Zay Jones. Or not Zay Jones, Zay Flowers. Which is needed for him because I think the talent is there. I just think he makes some. I mean, in that playoff game, like he made a super big boneheaded play, and so. Yeah, I mean, I think, and you look at they start the season at the Bills. And so that'll tell you a lot about what their season's going to look like. But they're the Ravens. They have Lamar Jackson. As long as he stays healthy, they have Derrick Henry. If he can be a smidge of what he was last year, I don't know how this team doesn't win the division.
So let's just go straight to the
so
Bengals.
So crazy to me that they lost 5 games and one of those games was to the Ravens.
Let's
talk about a trap game, dude.
Let's go to the Bengals because I do think that, and I probably should have started with them because you raise a good point in that how the Bengals do probably has a lot of influence over where everyone else shapes up. Like you said, it's a team that just missed the division. It's a team that has one of the best quarterbacks in the league currently. Yeah. Going into 2025, Joe Burrow is probably a top 3 QB in the league.
Easily.
And
he's interchangeable
an insane,
for top 1.
An insane wide receiving core still.
Yep.
So really my question would be, is the Bengals defense not even good, but competent enough to give them a chance to be in the playoffs this year?
No.
To be in the playoffs, you say no?
Oh, to be in the playoffs? Yeah. I mean, no, it's not because it's not about their defense. Their defense is not going to get them to the playoffs. It's going to be Joe Burrow having a lights out season and staying healthy.
But I think we can count on Joe Burrow having a lights out season. You can never count on anyone to be injured or not. So I think the offense will still be there. I have 0 questions about the offense. It's going to be good.
He's missed 2 seasons.
Will the defense do enough?
No.
To get them into the playoffs?
And no, because the Bengals hate their defense. They literally refuse to even sign their rookies. If you're on defense in Cincinnati, you don't matter.
Yeah.
That's what the whole organization has said. We want, because what they're saying, what do people like?
Offense.
Jamar
Chase
scoring.
Making insane catches. The Bengals trying to win games 47-45. Apparently. I don't think Bengals fans like that, but as not a Bengals fan, I like watching that game.
I love watching that game.
Especially because I don't care if you make the playoffs or not, Bengals.
As a Jamar Chase owner, I love that game.
So to segue, let's segue into a team that did sign one of their big defensive pieces in the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I think if there is a year where it all comes crashing down, it will be this year that they have a losing record. And it has a scorned DK Metcalf X and someone that thinks Aaron Rodgers should have retired several years ago. The tears of unfathomable sadness from Pittsburgh would be delicious. I hope, I want nothing more for them to finally have a losing record this year, which means that they will probably go 9-8 again. But does that put them into a playoff spot, and does that core have any chance of being anything other than mid at best? My take would be no. And I would have them, we're not quite to rankings yet, but I don't know how much time you want to spend with the Browns, tire fire.
Yeah.
I think that really the only question for me in this division is, will the Bengals make the playoffs this year or not?
Right.
I don't see a lot of movement in this division.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Pittsburgh schedule, and it's at Jets to open. Then they get a layup versus the Seahawks. Then
what?
At the Patriots.
What? Wait, what?
You heard me. They get a layup.
Okay. We're not talking about the NFC West, but
at home versus
just keep doubting the Seahawks.
Keep
doubting. You know what? We like that.
Keep believing in Sam Darnold.
Sammy Dimes.
Who had
You-
a
okay.
generational talent at wide
Let's
receiver.
talk rankings.
We're talking rankings already. We didn't even talk about the Browns.
Do you want to talk about the Browns? I don't think Browns fans want to talk
I
about
want
the
to talk
Browns.
about the Browns. Who do you think? Who's going to be their quarterback?
Who cares? They're gonna be bad. Honestly, who cares?
I care.
I don't
care.
No, I'm already done with the Shadur Sanders nonsense.
You're done?
Maybe the Browns could stop getting pulled over for speeding. Like, can the Browns just get to the start of the season with not half their team in jail?
No way is this real. Sources banged up Browns signed 5th QB in Huntley.
See, do you want to talk about the Browns? Browns fans, if there was the option to go into hibernation, like a big old grizzly bear till 2026, they would at this point.
Oh.
Just get them to the 2026 draft and they'll come out of hibernation.
Oh, I guess Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett are dealing with hamstring injuries. And
the whole team is arrested or injured.
Shadur Sanders is having a sore shoulder. I'm having a hard time talking.
Shadur Sanders sore shoulder.
Yeah, dude, that was dang, bro. You should have thought about that sentence. Yeah. Jeez Louise.
You want to? Okay, so can we move on?
No. Okay. Who do you think starts at quarterback?
Not Shadur Sanders. Kenny Pickett. If he's not injured.
Kenny Pickett? You would take Kenny Pickett. It's going to be Joe Flacco.
I mean, okay, Joe Flacco is the most likely answer.
How many games does Joe Flacco get? And do the Browns turn to a rookie? So old. But he showed that he can still spin it.
I think Kenny Pickett would be the best option for the Browns.
That's disgusting to say out loud.
Sorry.
How did you not just puke in your mouth a little bit?
The Browns are terrible. This is why I wanted to move on.
Kenny Pickett.
It doesn't matter.
Can you imagine being in this position where you're like, imagine this is fantasy football and you have to choose between Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, or Shadur Sanders?
I think I'd try to sell my team. Look for a new league. Get out of the ownership stake. Not salvageable.
We're done. You're done.
The Browns are such.
They're a dumpster
nonsense.
fire, dude. And then they got Quinshon Junkins or whatever the heck his name is.
That sounds like a Key and Peele name. It sounds like a Key and Peele football name.
Yeah, who is facing? He's not even signed. He's not even signed, but he had a super serious DV thing happen. I don't understand. What is happening?
The Browns are all either injured or arrested, and they somehow still have 5 quarterbacks that are on their roster. So let's talk rankings. I got the Ravens at 1. How do you feel about that?
I agree.
I got the Bengals at 2. How do you feel about that?
I agree. This is gonna suck. We have the same order.
I got the Steelers at 3.
Yeah.
And I have the trash fire Cleveland Browns in last place.
Yeah.
I'm
going to change it up, and I'm going to take the Bengals.
No, don't. Brian.
What?
You just said that you don't even think their defense can get them to a playoff spot.
No, but I believe in Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow would have beat them last year.
Are you just saying this to be different? Because we can have the same rankings.
Joe Burrow would have beat them last year if McPherson makes that field goal.
Okay. Whatever. It's basically the same thing. So you have the Bengals as a playoff team then? Because that was going to be my last question before we move on.
They could be a playoff team at 2.
They could. But really that's the only thing that I think is, barring something catastrophic, I think this division's pretty locked up. I think the only question is, do the Bengals make the playoffs or not? I would say yes. I think
the Bengals could win
I think the Bengals will make a playoffs. I think they could win the division.
And I'm saying this to be different.
Okay. I'm still going to take the Ravens at 1. Let's move on to the NFC North, which is a much more interesting division to talk about rankings wise. You pick. Where do you want to start with these 4?
Let's start with the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Oh, we fell for the hype last year with the Bears.
We did.
And for a second,
is it a trap again? That's my question. Is the Bears offseason another trap? They're like a thirst trap on steroids.
Some thirst traps are on steroids.
That's very true.
Here's the deal with the Bears. I think the best thing for the Bears would be if no one talks about them and they have if the Bears, you know what the Bears need to be this year? They need to be the 2024 Washington Commanders. That is what the Bears need to shoot for. No drama, no storylines, just competent quarterback play, the team coming together as a unit, and then it's playoff time and we're like, oh, look, the Bears are here.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
The Bears had a lot of expectations put on them last year, and some of that, I think that the reason why they failed, some of it was terrible coaching. Yeah. I mean, we don't need to rehash some of the decisions that were made last year.
Yeah.
But I think that the weight of the expectations that was placed on the Bears had a severe negative impact on their final position.
Well, let's go. Okay.
And I think that if they have the quietest year possible.
Ben Johnson the answer?
I don't know.
Let's go through their opening schedule.
Okay.
Versus the Vikings.
Not the worst game. They don't have the best quarterback of all time, Sam Darnold, playing for them anymore.
Oh, my God.
And is J.J. McCarthy really better than Sam Darnold? I don't think so.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Win or loss?
I'd rather have Sam Darnold.
Bears versus the Vikings, win or loss?
That's tough because...
It's not. It's a loss. At the Lions.
Okay. Loss.
Versus the Cowboys.
Win. Screw the Cowboys.
This is not a biased opinion.
I still think win. I think they could beat the Cowboys.
At the Raiders.
Win.
At the Commanders.
Loss.
Versus the Saints.
Win.
At the Ravens.
Loss.
At the Bengals.
Loss.
Yeah. So
they're 3-5 through week 8. If all that pans out.
Yeah. Then they get the Giants, Vikings again, Steelers. Then they got the Eagles.
Well,
Packers,
here's the problem is that the Bears are in a very good division still. I think the NFC North was good last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, 3 teams came out of it, and I think 3 teams could come out of the NFC North again.
Yeah. Some would say this could be the first ever 4-team.
There is an
insane
outside chance that could happen, but I don't see it. And I think that the Bears are on the outside looking in.
I think to believe in this team, you'd have to believe in Caleb Williams, and I don't believe in Caleb Williams. Everything that I've seen from the offseason this far has been atrocious.
Yeah.
And this might be just a typical Bears player that they picked without doing the research. If you remember, Caleb Williams wasn't throwing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say, if there was a year for there to be 4 teams coming out of one division, it would be this year's NFC, I think. There's enough volatility and mid around the rest of the NFC that this would be the year to do it. But you, as the Bears, you need a lot to go right. And you need Caleb Williams to prove that he actually deserved to have the hype around him last year.
Here's the deal, though. I can see them starting the season 0-5.
And I don't see him bouncing back from that, which is why I have them outside looking in.
Yeah.
Packers?
Packers
are going to be good.
Packers.
Jordan Love's going to be good.
Jordan Love.
I think Jordan Love's proved that he's a top QB in this league.
He's got to stay healthy, though. That's his biggest barrier.
Really, I think that's the team's biggest barrier.
They got to get over the Lions. They finally drafted a wide receiver in the first round.
I mean, and Aaron Rodgers and actually wasn't in Pittsburgh. He was probably in like South America on some ayahuasca trip at the time. So I don't even know if he got the news to be upset about.
Yeah, that's crazy that 11-6 got you 3rd place in this division.
Really tough. Now, okay, so if you're fine with it, let's just get away from the Packers because I think that, and let's cover the Lions really quick because I think the Lions are a playoff team.
Well, yeah.
But I think that the team to talk about. I'm
scared about the Lions.
I'm scared about the Lions too. I'm scared for the Lions and Lions fans.
I think the Lions window has closed.
I think it is closing. I don't think it is closed. I think.
Do you think
if you stayed healthy,
they're a contender? You think the Detroit Lions today are a contender?
I think you need a lot to go right. I
love Jared Goff. I want them to be a contender.
I think that this might be their last year as a contender. I think if they're going to do something, it has to be this year. And I think their outcome, their fate this season has a lot to do with the last team in this division, which is the Minnesota Vikings. I think if if 3 teams come out of this division, it's because J.J. McCarthy proves that he's got what it takes to compete at this level. He's got the talent around him. The Vikings were a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
And really the biggest change is their quarterback. Sam Darnold becoming J.J. McCarthy.
Just skip over okay, we're now in the Vikings.
Yeah.
You're like an ADHD baby.
Yes.
What is happening right now?
Well, I just wanted to skip to I thought I walked us through it. I said I want to skip through the Lions to the Vikings.
See this abuse that I'm under? Just screw my opinion.
You want to talk about the Lions some more?
This is the Isaac show. Isaac is taking us to the house.
Okay. I'm taking this conversation to the house. I'm going straight to the Vikings, all the way to the Vikings.
No, I had a lot of departures this year on the defensive side, and you see how that team performed when they faced all those injuries. And I think there's going to be a bigger gap in the way that their offense shows up than people want to let on. And you start week 1 that's a crazy schedule to start at the Packers. Week 1.
I thought they were at the Bears week 1. I thought you just said they play the Bears week 1.
No, I never said that.
Oh, okay. Well, you're wrong. They do play the Bears week 1.
No, they don't. 9-7.
Who are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at the Lions.
Oh, I'm looking at the Vikings still.
Oh my God.
Okay, the Lions. Lions at Packers week 1. That's tough. What's week 2?
Week 2 is versus the Bears. But then they have the Ravens, and then they play the Browns, but then they play the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Vikings, the Commanders, and then the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's a rough stretch,
if you're going to be a contender, then be a contender, though. You know?
Oh, she found him.
Michelle's passing notes under our door. Like, we're in a hostage situation.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting year for the Lions.
If you're going to be a contender, be a contender. I mean, you got to be the boogeyman.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think they reached the heights in the regular season that they did last year, but they had a great regular season last year and then got bounced their first playoff game. So, I mean, it's really down to, do I think they're going to make the playoffs? Yes. Well, then who cares about the regular season? Just get there and let's take a look at where you're at going into week 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a talk of somebody you believe as a contender. When you talk about a contender, you're talking about the Ravens.
But I
Bills,
think the Lions are in a very
Eagles.
similar situation as the Ravens, where it's like, I don't care what you do in the regular season. You could get second in the division to the Bengals. If you make the playoffs, then that's what it's really going to come down to.
If the Ravens go in and they sneak into the playoffs on a 10-win season, people are going to be like, well, is their window closed?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams that have been solid for a couple years. I think the Ravens are one. I think the Lions are one. Like, I feel the same way. I feel closer about like Ravens to Lions comparison as I do like Lions to Bills. Like, the Bills have everything to prove in the playoffs, but I'm still like, yeah, that's a contender for the Super Bowl. But with the Ravens and the Lions, I think they're in the same spot. Like, you guys. There's
a huge difference there. They have Josh Allen.
Right. What I'm saying is I would put the Lions in the same tier as the Ravens, and I would put both those teams in a different tier than the Bills.
I think they've dropped a tier.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, now can we talk about the Vikings?
No, we can talk about the Vikings.
So,
is Kevin O'Connell truly the quarterback whisperer?
We're going to find out. Here's their first 5 weeks. At Bears versus Falcons versus Bengals versus Steelers versus Browns. And I think the Vikings are
layups freaking schedule.
I think they're 4-1, and J.J. McCarthy has the ball is in the Vikings' court.
How do they play?
You have a
how do you play 5 home games?
Baby poopy soft
in a row
opening schedule to start this year. And the biggest hurdle for the Vikings, in my mind, is your rookie quarterback has seen essentially 0 NFL play. And you have to get his confidence and get him up to speed.
And he's going to be, he's coming back from that knee injury too.
True.
And so, that's going to be in the back of his head, whether he wants to admit it or not. It happens to every player their first year back from injury.
Sure.
And there's going to be a lot of pressure on him because it's like, if you can't perform with this offense, with this coach, with these wide receivers.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go in the NFL? That makes sense.
Sure. But I think the Vikings have a lot of volatility, and I think their ceiling is like a 12 to 13 even win team, but their floor is like a 7-win team.
Yeah. Not to mention if Sam Darnold can do it and you can't, then that really says
well, Sam Darnold, I mean, no one can be Sam Darnold. Seahawks legend Sam Darnold.
Oh my God.
Let's rank them. We've got a fat episode, and Ozzy is already dreading editing this. So
you're welcome, Ozzy.
You're welcome.
Job security, baby.
What?
I'm here to support you.
What do you got? Who do you got? One.
Who do you got? One, Ozzy.
San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
I got the Packers. Don't be different.
I got the Packers.
Okay. 2.
I got Minnesota.
See, I'm going to take the Lions. You really don't believe in the Lions this year, do you?
It's not that I don't believe in the Lions. I think they have a tough schedule, and I think that there's going to be too many close games, and they don't – I don't know. They're a gritty team. They could make it happen, but I don't see the same explosion that we seen last year and the year before that. And I don't know that their defense is as good.
I'm taking the Lions 2, and then I think we're in agreement that the Bears are last.
Yep.
And then I'd have Vikings 3, you'd have Lions 3.
Yeah.
Do you have the Lions as a playoff team?
Yeah, I have them sneaking in a wild card.
I
think it'll still be 3 teams making the playoffs.
You still think it's 3 making the playoffs?
Yeah. But I think Detroit takes a step back.
I think
they'll win games on pure grit, but I don't think that they have the oomph to like really dominate this division like they did the year before.
I mean, the NFC is so wide open. I really think that all 3 of those teams could make the playoffs again.
Easily.
It never works out like that, though.
The NFC is like the NBA West, bro.
NFC is wide the heck open. And next week, we'll talk about the
South, dude.
Look at the East. You got some, a lot of volatility.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk about it next week on To the House. Even when we're rooting against each other, sports still bring us together. We'll see you next week on To the House. Football's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Baseball is actually getting exciting. Like a month away. It's getting good again.
Yeah.
It's good to be a sports fan again.
It's good to be a sports fan. Yeah.